I think if they let Gunther murder everyone during Jey's celebration and then the commentators, we could have had a complete redemption of Gunther after his embarrassing loss. I ain't gonna lie, you cooked here. And let me know your wrestling hot takes down in the comments below. It can be current day or it can be in history, and you'll have a chance of being in the next episode. We can all kind of agree that there's a lot they could have done differently. On the Raw after Mania, you could have had him not ignore the world champion that was there that night, the man that just took his title, to attack the commentators instead. You want to take out your frustration? Don't take it out on Michael Cole. Don't take it out on Pat McAfee. Jey Uso is literally there. Go and take your title back. And then all of this has resulted in Gunther being suspended by the WWE. To which I go ahead and say, like, I see where you're going. He's crashing out. He lost the world championship. But realistically, a man of Gunther's honor and integrity should not be doing this. It feels like they booked WrestleMania 41 exclusively for the Raw after Mania. They obviously set up what Gunther was going to do. They obviously did it with the Dangerous Alliance 2.0 with Seth Rollins and Paul. And then with John Cena as well. I kind of see what you mean. The Jey versus Gunther match needed blood, and it's a crime that it ended without any sort of extreme violence. I feel like that match needed that step up. I completely agree. That was one of my main gripes about that match as well. Like, they've had this whole extreme run up. It's been personal. All of this you've done to Jey Uso. You've made him watch him bloody and everything. It's been brutal. And then the match at WrestleMania was kind of just standard. Surely you should have gone ahead and busted Gunther open first to at least make it seem like, oh yeah, he's losing oxygen. Like, you know, like, make it a bit more believable, make it a bit more brutal, like the rest of the rivalry has been. The shoot promo from Karrion Kross is the start of something major for Kross. He is too damn good to not be used, and I can see him being a world champion one day. I feel like the majority of us can see it happening. Karrion Kross is going to hold that big gold world heavyweight championship one of these days, especially with the trajectory that he's going on right now. Like, he is building this momentum, and if they can keep up the momentum, then I don't see any reason why he can't go ahead and maybe win Money in the Bank or become big gold world heavyweight champion by the end of the year or next year. I want to see him involved in a hair versus hair match, okay, or a hair versus mask, however you want to do it. Maybe El Grande Americano versus Karrion Kross, okay? I just want to see the bald Karrion Kross back. Any means necessary, do whatever you gotta do. That is the look that I want to see him be world champion with. That is the Karrion Kross. Dominic needs to leave the Judgment Day and really go on his own. Like, slowly but surely, Finn Balor's kind of going back to who he used to be, and eventually they're gonna snap there. And then surely at some point, Dominic and Liv are gonna go ahead and break up. That true love can't last forever, surely. And then what? You only have the Judgment Day with Liv, Raquel, and Carlito? That's not gonna stand. Oh, and JD McDonough, that's not a faction. No, those guys will be done. So yeah, I do think inevitably with how over Dominic Mysterio is, and kind of the same on SmackDown with Jacob Farr too, both of them are so over. You can't ignore that crowd reaction, and you can't ignore them being good guys forever. They will both be baby faces, I think, by the end of 2025. Do a video like this where you ask for dream matches. I think it would be a pretty nice video. Oh, I like that. Okay, you know what, bet. As most of you will know by now, I usually get these hot takes either from the community post I post every week or from the comment section. And so if you want to be in the dream matches hot take video, then go ahead and comment your dream matches down below. From any era, you can go ahead and let me know. Evolution 2.0 is going to be the greatest faction we will ever see, and Rock was not needed, and this ship is sailing perfectly without him. Ooh, wow, okay. Listen, I think they're going to be a great faction, but the greatest ever. Let's go ahead and slow our rolls right there. And speaking of slowing our rolls, The Rock was not needed at WrestleMania. No, I think he was. And that's just one of those things where I can't go ahead and agree with that. I think The Rock needed to be there at WrestleMania. I know I said it in the other video, but again, The Rock needed to be at WrestleMania at least. He didn't need to be on the Raw after Mania. He doesn't need to be at Backlash. He doesn't need to be in all these other spots. But in terms of being at WrestleMania when you crown the man that sold his soul to you, yeah, you need to be there. Easily the best Raw after Mania in the Paul Levesque era, and it's not even close. I'd go ahead and agree with that. I think it was a very stacked Raw after Mania. It was one that just flew by. I'd agree with you on that. Gunther versus Pat could cook as a feud. I feel like Pat McAfee has a solid chemistry with some guys that he's wrestled, and I feel like Gunther would be one of those guys. Now, do I still kind of see where the first hot take was coming from about him attacking the commentators and that being kind of stupid? Yes. But at the same time, if this is the direction they're going in, I feel like Gunther versus Pat could be a fun one, just in the meanwhile. But also, the timing feels weird to me. It almost feels like this should have came after another loss to Jey Uso. I'm okay with there not being a WWE PLE in the UK this year. The Raws and SmackDown early this year were great, and I feel like they've got something goated cooking in the oven for 2026. God, I hope so. I really hope you're right about something cooking for 2026. Like, I'll go ahead and let you cook as well. I'll agree with you. Natalya has the greatest catchphrase ever. Happy, happy, joy, joy. You damn right. If she ever went ahead and said that again and it was on live TV, I want every single one of you to rush my Twitter and tell me. Deonte DDJ needs to join Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. He will be the turning point which can help them defeat Punk and Reigns. You know what? I agree with that. Maybe, you know what? I'll go ahead and try to get Liv Morgan in the group. I'll go ahead and talk to her and you'll be safe. Okay. Take Ludwig Kaiser, in my opinion, he is underappreciated. He is an amazing heel. I think WWE should give him a mid-card title. I completely agree with you. Ludwig is fantastic. And for as happy as I am for Carmelo Hayes, I'm still very surprised that they didn't go ahead and let him win the Andre. I feel like that was kind of a layup. But should he go ahead and be a mid-card champion this year? Absolutely. Should he maybe be someone that faces Ilya Dragunov when he comes back? I would love to see that. AEW needs to give the world title to Samoa Joe. Listen, man, I'll go ahead and co-sign anything that gets the Death Riders off my TV screen. Anything. I cannot express how excited, how happy joy I will be if he wins against Moxley in a couple of weeks. I will death to the Death Riders, death to that entire storyline. I'm done with it. It's over. Let's move on. Evanescence's music should be used more in WWE. They should bring back rock music in their PLEs and entrances in general. Okay. You know what? It's one of those things where I am right in the middle of both arguments when it comes to wrestling theme songs and wrestling pay-per-view themes. I like to think that my music palette is pretty like spread across a bunch of different genres. There's no one genre that I don't really like. I'm kind of everywhere. And especially when it comes to wrestling pay-per-view themes, like some of the ones that have been voted the worst of all time, I'm like, no, actually, I think that fits. Because you see it all the time, don't you, on the timeline? It's always like, oh, well, wrestling should bring back more rock music. This new modern music sucks. Why is this person getting a theme? And then equally on the other side, people are like, no, you know what? You guys just need to get over it. It's not the 2000s anymore. I'm in the middle. Just give me a mix, okay? Give me whatever matches the pay-per-view the most. Trick Williams would be the perfect fit in the Seth Braun faction. Oh, yeah, man. You know, I know it's a bit of a wild shout to say Trick Williams gets called up and goes straight into this main event faction, but I wouldn't be entirely surprised either. He's seemingly a heel right now in NXT. Like, the crowd reaction's kind of mixed, but like he's kind of playing a villain at the same time, but obviously they still love the theme song. I also feel like bringing in someone talented from the women's division could really bolster that faction's credibility as well. Imagine they went ahead, they had Seth Braun, Trick Williams, Jordan Grace. What a powerful faction that would be. What a dangerous alliance that would be. Jeff Hardy should have been Randy Orton's mystery opponent. Joe Hendry is cool and all, but I think Jeff Hardy and Randy would be the coolest thing. Also, love the vids. Thank you. Like, it's one thing to go ahead and have Joe Hendry be a viral moment, but think about all the 2000s and 2010s kids who knew this Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton feud. You know, we talk about it all the time. We talk about 2008 Jeff Hardy. We talk about 2009 Randy Orton. We talk about those two clashing. That, in of itself, would have been an even bigger viral moment. I wish it was Jeff Hardy now. Stephanie versus Io was better than every match at Mania. Incredible match on Monday Night Raw. I hope we get to see it actually end one day, but Stephanie Vaquer...
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky was better than most of WrestleMania, save for 3 matches. You know, Stephanie Vaquer,
I'm gonna fight all these urges.
This Raw was the best Raw after WrestleMania ever, and it's not even close. Ooh. But you know what? Just because I haven't rewatched the 2013 one in a while, I'll go ahead and agree with you. It was the best Raw after Mania ever. Why not? The Rock's massive ego has sunk the Cena heel turn. You know what? You know where I stand on that. I agree. Becky Lynch is grossly overrated. The glaze from this channel in particular is insane. Liv Morgan's supremacy on top.
It took my breath away.
Michael Cole should put on the orange singlet again and wrestle Gunther at Backlash. You know what? You damn right. Imagine Michael Cole behind the plexiglass next week. He's talking shit. He's in the coal mine. He's like, all my coal miners support me. The crowd's like, Michael Cole. Mike, and then he hits him with that line that he always used to say. He's like, I'm a former war correspondent. You can't get in here, Gunther. Gunther's like, hang on a second. Karrion Kross should have faced AJ Styles. I disagree, actually. For as much as I am happy that Karrion Kross is, you know, getting that that love and everything, and he's turning everyone around, me included, and for as much as I'm happy to see someone really taking an opportunity and running with it, I love when superstars do that. But no, I don't think he should have faced AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Like I said before, I enjoyed the Logan Paul match. But do I want to see Karrion and Scarlett doing more going forward? Of course I do. American crowds are legit ruining wrestling for me, and I'm not even exaggerating. You know what? Low-key, I agree. But sometimes some of those American crowds are just terrible. First of all, the what chant, stop it, give it Realistically, in the big 2025, the only person that should still be getting the what chant is Stone Cold Steve Austin. That is it. Having Becky and Lyra losing the titles after WrestleMania was dumb in my opinion. Didn't have a problem with Becky turning heel, but they could have done a little bit longer and also lose the titles to a different team. I kind of agree. That is one area when, like, the more I've thought about it, the more I think Becky Lynch's heel turn happening at WrestleMania would have made a lot more sense. And then what a WrestleMania moment that would have been. Becky Lynch is back, you know, she hugs Lyra and then she does it. It's like Becky Lynch just came back, but it's not the same Becky Lynch that we knew. WrestleMania 4 is worse than Mania 27, I agree. If Darby Allin joined WWE, he could be the next Jeff Hardy. Oh, I'd love to see that. MLW is really underrated, and DDJ Total Divas is the best wrestling series on YouTube right now. Thank you so much. But in terms of the other hot take, Darby Allin joining the WWE, I feel like that man needs to go to WWE. Granted, I know a lot of you are gonna go ahead and say right now, but he won't be able to do a lot of the stuff he does in AEW. I don't even care, because that man right now, all due respect to AEW, but he is killing himself with all these different spots and doing it on not the biggest stage. If you're gonna go out or like that and do all this crazy shit, in my opinion, you want to do it where you're getting the most eyes on you, risking your life.